Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and this is Urvashi, and in today's video I'm gonna proceed further with the design system, and I'm gonna cover the buttons part here where I'm going to create the button components for each state. So you can follow along with me, and also I will explain the essential step in between. So without any further delay, let's get started. So first of all, I will give it a heading as buttons. It's not necessary to create button components before you start designing. You can do one thing, you can create one or two screens, then you will add the button components to your design system. That way it will be easier for you. So let's proceed further. Buttons, and I'm gonna create different types of buttons here with default state, hover state, disabled, loading, and all those categories. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a heading as default button. With or without the icons. So I will create 4 variants for each one: with icon, with trailing icon, with leading icon, and one with without the icon. And also we have to take care of the properties here. If we duplicate any component from this, we will be able to change the state as well as the leading icon or trailing icon. Okay, so let's just start. I will add this as a heading, default. Okay, primary button. I'm going to choose a random color for the primary button. I will also give some corner radius. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another one with leading icon. So for that I have to get the icon from my file. I will pick any icon just to explain you how you can do that. So here in this video I'm going to explain the components part as well as variants part that I will create right now. I'm going to add this icon. Change the size of it to something 24. Now I am also changing the color of this button. This is fine, and decrease the size of this icon. Now I am going to create one more with the trailing icon. Okay, you don't have to do manually. You can do one thing. You can just click on the icon and click on the forward arrow key. That way it will be shifted to the right. Okay, so like that I have created these 3 buttons, and I'm going to create other options for this, for the hover, disabled, and other categories. Okay, now I'm going to just lighten this color a bit. Now I'm going to select all of these buttons, and you will see this icon at the top, and here is the drop down icon as well. So click on that and click on this create component set. That way the 3 button set will be created. Okay, like this. So this is our default buttons. Then we can add all of the buttons inside of this particular variant box. So for that, click on any button and click on this plus icon, that is add variant, like this. Now I am going to add the hover state button. We will assign properties later. Just right now I am going to just do this. I am going to duplicate the variant and create different buttons like hover state. And for hover state I am going to lighten this color a bit. Okay. For this one as well. Follow along with me for the better understanding. And if you don't understand anything, if there is any doubt, you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn or in the comment section. Okay, like this. Here you will see different properties for this. We can assign different properties to these buttons so that we will be able to change the properties while we duplicate this button. Okay, so let's just do one thing here. Let's just create all the buttons first of all, then we will add the properties. Now for the active button, I will assign some other color. Also, I'm going to add the drop shadow for this because this is the active button. I hope you are getting what I am doing here. Just follow along with me. Okay, there is a problem, I guess. So this is the default button, this is a hover, and this is a active. Okay, we have to assign one more property here for the icons. Okay, so here is the thing. To add one more property to your components, you have to click on this plus icon, and from here you will select this option variant. Okay, so property name will be as a trailing icon first of all, because we are dealing with the trailing icon first. Then I will add a value as true. Okay, like that. Now what we're gonna do here is we'll click on the button where there are two different properties. Then we are gonna assign a value. So here the icon is leading, so we have to add another property. We have to add one more value for this trailing icon property, or we have to add another property. So here we are gonna add one more property for this particular button where there is no icon, so that we can select between true or false. So here there is no icon, so for that we are gonna add one more value as false. Okay, and we are gonna apply this on this. Okay, now for this one we are gonna assign one more property, which is leading icon. So here comes the false, and I will select this entire frame and will add a new variant as leading icon. I hope you are getting what I am trying to say here. True. Okay, so for this one I will assign a property for the leading icon, which is true, and for this one, for trailing icon, it is false. Then I'm going to assign one more property, a property to this particular button. I'm gonna change the leading icon property to false, because here you will see the icon is trailing, not leading. So here I'm gonna add one more value as if false. Okay, so what I did here, I have assigned 3 different properties to these buttons. For this one, there is no icon, so I have assigned the value as false, and for the leading icon as well, false, because there is no icon, and this is a default state. And then for the second button, I have added one more value, which is for trailing, which is for leading icon, which is true, because here it is a leading icon. Then for trailing icon, I have added false, and this is the default state button. And for the third button, I have added trailing icon as a true, because there is a trailing icon. And for leading icon, I have added the value as false. So if we duplicate this one, we will be able to change the property. So let me show you how. So see, it has assigned this toggle switch for this button. If we turn off this one, it will become, this button will become default one without the icon, and if we turn it on, you will see like this. You can turn off and on the trailing or leading icon for this button easily by using this property panel. Okay, so I'm gonna assign for these button as well. This is a hover state and there are no icons, so false for both of these properties, which is trailing and leading icon. Then for this one, this is also a hover state and there is a leading icon, so I will assign leading icon as true and for trailing icon as false. Okay, and here you will see the icon is trailing, so for trailing icon it is true and for leading icon it is false. Okay, now here comes the another value or property. Here there is no icon, so false for both of these properties. And here you will see the leading icons, so for leading icons it will be true and for trailing icon it will be false. Here also you'll see trailing icon is true and leading icon is false. Okay, like that. Now we have 3 state buttons, which is default, hover, active, and there will be one more, 2 more actually. No, one more, which is disabled. Okay, so for that I'm gonna just click on this icon to create a new button and we'll add the gray color because it is a disabled icon. Okay, and we'll remove this drop shadow. And now I will add the different properties for this one as well. This is disabled button with trailing icon as false and leading icon as false. Okay, now I'll duplicate another one. Here you see it is a disabled button with trailing icon with leading icon. So leading icon will be true and trailing icon will be false. Okay. Like that. I hope you're getting whatever I am doing right now, because properties part is a bit confusing, but if you do it regularly you will understand everything, because it's not very difficult to understand. Okay, so we have our primary buttons, and for secondary buttons I'm gonna use the outlined one. Okay, so I'm gonna create one more buttons components with secondary buttons. Okay, so these are our primary buttons. You can always reach out to me if there are any doubts regarding this. Okay, these are our primary buttons. And if you duplicate any of these, if I just click on this and hold option key and duplicate the button, you will see all the options. Default, okay, what is it? Just a second, there is some mistake, I guess. Oh, okay. So do not forget to add the state name for every button. So I duplicated this button here by holding option key, and you will see all the properties here with default, active, hover, disabled. If you click on disable, it will turn it into the disabled button, and you can just turn on or off the leading or trailing icon like that. Okay, and active, this hover state. Okay, so like this you can create button components with properties, because properties are very important, because if there are multiple screens on your website or on your app, you have to change different things while doing the designing, like adding icons, adding trailing icons, leading icons, or you have to create the hover state or disable state. So for that reason, we create a component set for all the buttons we will be using on our website, so that we will be able to change the button state by using the properties. Okay, we are getting what I am trying to say here. Now we are going to create the secondary buttons. Now let's create the secondary buttons, and I will be creating the secondary buttons for all these states. Okay, so let's just duplicate them by selecting all of them and dragging them by holding option key or alt key like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this one and this one and this one, and I'm going to detach them so that I will create new buttons for the secondary buttons. I will detach the instance. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the stroke and remove the solid color like this. Okay, and for this one as well I will do the same. I'm going to change the name of this button as secondary button. Always keep your auto layout as hug content so that it will be resized accordingly. You don't have to do it manually. I'm just adjusting the padding here. Always do your work perfectly with proper alignment and all that stuff. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select all of these buttons and create a component set with that. Okay, so now I'm gonna assign different properties to this. So what we did previously, we will repeat it once again. By selecting this entire frame, I'm gonna add one more variant as leading icon and add a value as true. Okay, I will assign this value to this button at the center. Okay, now for this one I'm gonna add one more value which is false. Okay, like that. Okay, there is some problem. Let me see. I'm gonna change the state name. Okay, I got it. False. Now I'm gonna add one more property, one more variant with trailing icon, value as true, false, and false. Okay. Now I'm gonna create a hover state for this one. For that, I'm gonna use the lighter version of this color, and I will add a solid color, solid light color, like this. Okay, and also I'm gonna keep the color as same. I will just add the solid color, light solid color, so that it will appear in hover state like this. Okay, for this one as well, I will do the same. I will just add the solid color, the light solid color. Okay, for this one as well. Now I'm gonna add the properties. I'm gonna add the hover state property here. Other properties are already here, so we just have to change the default to hover. Okay, now I'm gonna duplicate this one. I will add a shadow here for the active one, like this. Follow along with me for the better understanding. And for the disabled state, I'm going to use the same color as I used our, and remove the shadow. I will change the property after I have done creating this one. I am just changing the state property name. Other things are already set. So I have created two sets of button components here, which are secondary and primary buttons. We also create text field components, but I have given a demo on how to create button components with properties, and how you can change different properties by duplicating the button, and how you can add more properties to your components. To add more properties, always use this variant option. If you use boolean or instance swap or text, you will get confused. So I will recommend you to use this variant option while creating a new property for your component set. So that's how we create different components while we are creating the design system for any client or for our personal projects. And I will recommend you to create these buttons so that your workflow will be easier and fast. So I hope you all guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, then do not forget to subscribe to my channel for more such informative videos and hit that like button, and do not forget to follow me on Instagram. Link is in the description, and I'm gonna continue this design system series with icons in my next video, and I'm gonna add more components to this design system like text fields. So stay tuned, and thanks for joining me today. Bye bye.